Hello everyone, I'm Grimthule, and this video is all about making your life easier when you first log in to EverQuest Legends. I want to share my game settings, key bindings, and macros so new, returning, and veteran players alike can dive into the adventure as soon as possible. Let's begin. So here we are at the character select screen. I'm going to make a character real quick. I'm feeling Dark Elf today, and we're going to enter world. The first time you log into EverQuest Legends, it's going to take a little while to load. Do not be alarmed. You will get in. However, you never know how launch day goes. Okay, so here we are. We've logged in. The UI is a mess. I apologize. The EverQuest UI is being worked on. Hopefully it'll be ready by the time the game launches. So what do we do first? First thing I'm going to do is push the I key and get the inventory out of the way. I'm using the 1920 by 1080 resolution. This is the average, kind of an average resolution that can be used across most monitors. First thing I'm going to do is change the chat size to 5 or 6. I'm going 6. And then I'm going to change the font size of the combat to 6 as well. And I'm going to make a new tab. I'm going to rename the tab Spam. This is temporary. You can play with this later. And I'm going to filter spell emotes, because you're going to get a lot of spell emotes if you're casting spells and people are casting spells around you. It does clog up your chat. I'm also going to filter, for the time being, damage shields, because damage shields will fill up your chat in a heartbeat, especially if you and the monster and your pet are all getting hit. Your chat just flows with damage shield messages. And I'm also going to do Bard songs. Songs also flood your chat, whether you're singing them or somebody else. Those are the 3 big ones. We'll do a whole separate chat video later. I'm also going to detach the combat tab. And kind of put that to the side for a second. And I'm going to try to grab the window. It is a little hard to grab. And I'm going to move it over to the bottom left. Kind of get it out of sight. I'm going to move some UI elements around. Just kind of cleaning up this workspace. I'm kind of going to match where my chat is at. And then I'm going to set the alpha faded level to 0. So that way it just goes away when I'm not hovering over it. Up in the top left is the tutorial window. If anything's teaching you how to do things in this game, that's where it goes. I'm just going to click OK, and you can see it kind of follows through and it's telling you what you should do in the tutorial. But that is beyond the scope of this video. I am going to drag our name, health, mana, endurance bar, and I'm going to put my buffs on the bottom so that it will fit at the top. So now buffs will show up down here. Let me move that. I like to keep as much UI within my field of vision, so I don't have to look all over the place for something. This is especially true on a 34-inch monitor. And apologize. Display types, I like to put the buffs on the bottom for this one as well. This is your target window. I like to click the EQL button and go to actions and click extended target. Actually, for the purposes of the video, let's make it like real clean. I'm going to move this around a little bit just for preference sake. I'm going to move my group down here. I'm going to make the alpha faded level on my extended target window so we don't have to look at it. It's a little distracting when you're not using it. And I'm going to reduce the alpha level in the group. You can right click the EQL menu bar, if that's what you want to call it, and you can do a horizontal icon. I kind of like that a little better. I'll just leave it down here. I like to make the spell slot bar horizontal, and as I get the AAs for extra spell slots, they kind of come through here, and it makes it nice and even. Furthermore, I like to put my bard songs down here for symphonic aura. And let's look at hotkey bars. And I'm going to make the key button size bigger. I like to do 155. If you're playing in lower resolutions, like on a tablet, the higher the button size, the better. Trust me. You'll probably want to play in full screen too. And let me move this over here for a second. I like to put this one, I like to arrange center horizontally. You can do this with any UI structure. It's a little low. Let's pull it up. Yep, that puts it about dead center. I'm going to put my spells right there too. I'm also going to right click in the hotbar section and open new bar. I'm going to do the same here as well. Button size. Manually put it in this time. It's pretty hard to grab these. I apologize for that. Hopefully they will fix it. Let's get that a little closer. All right, so I like to leave this space blank for my pet UI. It's an easy location to look at. I'm going to be looking down here at the chat and these hotkeys quite often. So let's look at the hotkey bar now. I like to take melee off of number 1 because it's already key mapped to Q, and I like it there. For EverQuest, it's an older game, so the keybinds are actually pretty useful. It was a slower paced game, so you really don't need the Q, E, R, F, ZXC, TG, 1 through 6 keybinds that you might find in other games. So I just generally try to leave them alone, use the default. I'm going to go ahead and take bash off, taunt off, and kick. I'm going to take ranged attack because there's a candle in my range. It's like hide is awesome, or a dark elf. Let me zoom out so we can see our dark elf. Actually just lost the hide. Any important abilities you might identify, I would like kind of throw them over in this side hotkey bar. Sit I would leave on the bar, and find I would take off because the find shortcut key is just F. F for finds. It's pretty easy to remember. So I try to memorize the key commands, and you can find those in the options in the key bindings, instead of actually using hotkey bars, because I don't want hotkey bar bloat. Let's see. Let's look at the game options next. Put this up here, and let's say gameplay general. Target click show help, uncheck it. Just trust me. Click through self, yes. Click through pets, yes. You'll thank me later, or you won't notice it at all because I just told you to click it. Attack on right click, take that off. If you're used to playing games where you right click an NPC, this button will get you killed. Let's see. Leave on momentary duck bind. I leave on auto switch to ranged attack. Modern chat inputs are fine. Persistent auto attack is nice. You want to check that. That makes it so if you kill a mob, you will still auto attack. So if something else attacks you, you will automatically switch to the next target. Feign death toggle. If you are going to play a monk, I highly recommend checking that, because now you can just click feign death again and come out of your feign death instead of hitting the sit button. I leave the sit button on my bar because I play necromancer, and you have to manually sit/stand to get out of the necromancer feign death. Other than that, I leave everything on the general tab alone. The rest of the general settings I leave alone. The automations I leave alone. Confirmations I leave alone. Mail I leave alone. This is a fresh start guide designed to get you into the action as quick as possible. We do not have to change everything. Let's skip controls for now and go to interface. I generally leave all of this alone when I first start. You will play with it later. Don't worry about it for now. Nameplates, I do like to uncheck show pet names, especially if you like to take screenshots because the pet names are just ugly in screenshots. Having said that, you can uncheck your names here as well to take better screenshots. Combat text, I'll leave alone at first. You can play with your new floating combat text settings here. Chat, I leave alone. This is where you change various colors to identify chat message a little easier. Sometimes the default color of chat is hard to see, especially when when the alpha goes out, when it hides like that. Sometimes some colors are really hard to see. Now let's move on to system. Switching to full screen mode or windowed, that's personal preference. Historically, full screen mode was the way to go. There is no windowed full screen at the moment. Hopefully they'll add that later. I do enjoy pushing far click plane all the way up as it determines how far you can see in the game. This is where you change the settings, whether you can see your spells, where you can see all spell effects, your spell effects, somebody else's spell effects. You're going to want to come in here and turn off a lot of these if you're raiding. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to see any action on the screen because spells are going to be going off like crazy. I do like changing sky type to complex just for some extra graphics, but if your computer power is limited, you can leave that off. Other than that, I'll leave everything the same. Audio, boost sound realism up to 50%. Leave all that the same. You play with it later. This is where the audio settings. Accessibility, here's pet size. I'm not playing with it yet. If you don't have a pet, you don't have to worry about it. Let's go back to controls. You can select a category, or you can go all the way to, you can go down here in all and just look at all of it. But I only worry about a few of these key bindings. Other MMOs and other games, I've got a crazy amount of key bindings. In EverQuest, I do not need them. And you don't either when you first start out. So for auto run walk, I just do middle mouse. I just love auto run on the middle mouse button. But put whatever key you prefer for your auto run. Other than that, I'll leave these alone. Okay, let's look at some other categories. Commands. This is a good place to look things up, but I don't change anything. Spellcasting, I don't change anything here. You can. This is where the spellcast gems keybinds are. I leave the default as Alt 1 through etc. Target, I generally leave alone. Camera, if you want to change your camera settings, I do not. Chat, I don't mess with chat. And keep in mind, this is for a fresh start character. UI, this is where you can learn some shortcut keys or create some new ones. Hotbar 1 is where we want to be at. The first thing I do, let's get rid of hot button page key presses. Now let's go back up here to hot button 1 through 12. These are the actual hot buttons. What I like to do is come down here to the 7 slot and start doing shift 1 through 6. There, now you can see we have 1 through 6 keybinds and shift 1 through 6 on the bottom. This 1 through 6 is my most usability / spells. Shift 1 through 6, I like to put my stances and invocations. Okay, now that we have hotbar 1 set up, let's go on to hotbar 2. I like to put my mouse buttons in 1 and 2. I use those for pet attack and pet back off. I like to put E in slot 3 because EverQuest does not natively use the E key, and I love the E key in most games. And then in 4, I like to put W. W is red because it's a conflict, but that's fine in EverQuest. That just means when I hit W, I can have 2 things happen at once, which is very beneficial. I've put sense heading on my W key to demonstrate. So when I move forward, it also pushes sense heading. This is amazing for training skills that you do not want to have to button mash for. Taunt is an excellent example during a fight. All right, now that we've finished going over the boring stuff, the game options and the keybinds and the pretty UI, let's go over something a little bit more interesting. Let's push the L key and macros. Macros can be daunting, and some people may be going like, ugh, but I'm here to tell you only need 1. That's right, 1. And this one is going to be location. And I'm just going to simply type \LOC. I'm going to drag this to the bar. And I'm going to put it very close to W because that's where I'm going to put it when I use it. So let me bring my chat over for a second, and I'm going to push the location macro, and it's giving me my coordinates relative to the map that you can see when you push the backspace key. So on the map it says 17.0, and in the chat the location macro is extremely precise. The Z coordinates 3. So if you look up on the internet an NPC or monster and you find their coordinates, this is how you would find them. So for instance, let's put location on W. So now when I move around, I'm getting updated coordinates. And this is how I like to track NPCs and monsters over the years. So the location macro is extremely useful down the line. There's all sorts of macros you can set up, but that also will be its own video. And let's go over one more thing, abilities. If you scroll down your abilities list, there's checkboxes here. And if you check the checkbox, it will automatically use that skill during combat. So we are a warrior, so we get bash and kick right out the gate. If you're an ogre, you might have slam that replaces bash. You can sort these by category or name, but I like to sort by category. With the new invocations and melee stances, these are extremely important to get on your bar. So this is one of the first things I do now. I have a particular way I like to do for my primary build. I always put Arcane Mastery on Shift 2. I put Empower Shift 4. I put Overchannel on Shift 6. Recovery on Shift 3. And then I like to put Defensive Stance here on Shift 1. And whatever offensive stance I want to use, such as Striker Stance, Offensive Stance, or Balance Stance at any given time. So depending on my class, like if I was a monk, I would put Striker Stance on the bar. Also, when I get Cleave as a warrior, I also put Striker Stance. But so this one's kind of interchangeable. And anything I might use coming up or want to test, I'll put over here. This space is also for items that I can click from my inventory, such as the Amulet of Necropotence for the skeletal illusion, or the new shoulders that drop in Blackburrow that has the shrink effect on them. So I'll drag those here to get easy access to those gear abilities. Spells. Forgot to mention spells. You can left click, hold left click, and drag the spell to anywhere on your bar. So you can drag it to a place that doesn't have a keybind, or you can drag it to a place that does have a keybind. Keep in mind, this is Alt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. So this is a little redundant, and there's a million different ways you can make this more efficient, either with the keybinds in the options menu or not. This is a quick start guide. Worry about that later. That's all for now. If you have any questions, feel free to drop in the comments below or join my Discord channel by clicking the link and get answers in real time from myself and other seasoned veterans. Like and subscribe for more EverQuest Legends content. I'm Grimthule, and I'll see you in Norrath.